This is my Peavey JSX. It's 5 or 6 years old, and the tubes in it sound horrible, so I'm going to rip them out and replace them and rebias the amp, and I'll show you how to do that. Before we proceed, I should mention that guitar amps contain high voltages which can be lethal, so you can definitely kill yourself and or smoke your gear if you don't know what you're doing, so proceed at your own risk. First thing you need to do is get this grill off the back of the amp, and it's pretty straight ahead. There's 4 screws, and 1 in each corner, so just remove those screws. Once you get those screws out, this grill on the back of the amp just pops off. With this amp you can run either EL34s or 6L6 GC power tubes. Right here we're looking at, even though you can't see it very well, the bias adjust pot and the tube type selector switch. But for right now I'm just going to leave those alone. Now with my amp unplugged, I'm going to reach in and remove each power tube one at a time, being careful not to smash it against the top of the cabinet and shatter it. Spray the pins on the bottom of the tube with some electrical contact cleaner, such as this. It doesn't have to be this kind. Any electrical contact cleaner will work. Now work the tube in and out of the socket 3 or 4 times to clean the crud and corruption out, and do that for all the tube sockets. Stand the amp up on its side and remove the 4 feet with a Phillips head screwdriver. Once you get the feet off, you can reach in and grab each power transformer, there is one on each end, and slide the amp out of the cabinet in this direction. Once you get the amp out of the cabinet, you can lay it back down. These are the 4 preamp tubes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are the power tubes, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to replace all of them. Remove all the preamp tube covers. They each have 2 screws, 1 on each side. These are spring loaded, so be careful not to drop the screw down into the amplifier. If you do that, then good luck to you. Once you get the covers off, you can pop the tubes right out, and make sure to clean the sockets the same way you did with the power tubes. Take all the power tubes out as well. These are the new tubes I'll be installing. The first matched pair will go on the inside 2 sockets, and the other pair goes on the 2 outside sockets. Once you get all your new tubes in, you can remove one of the power tubes, and I'm going to put my socket probe that I got from eurotubes.com into the empty socket. And once you get that in the socket, the tube goes into the socket probe. Put the amp back on top of the speaker cabinet, and it's very important to plug the speaker cabinet back into the amp. You will need a multimeter. My socket probe actually puts the meter in series with the tube's plate circuit, so I'll use the milliamp scale. If you don't know what you're doing, you should ask somebody who has a clue, because you can blow the fuse in your meter or worse. Make sure to observe correct polarity when you plug the probe leads into your meter. Also, if you don't have an auto ranging meter like this one, you should set the amperage scale on the meter to a higher value and work your way down. Connect power to the amp. Switch the amp on and get ready to yank the power cord in case you smell smoke or anything else funky. After the amp's warmed up a bit, take it off standby. What we want to do is set the plate current to about 38 milliamps. So while you're watching your meter, you can make small adjustments using this bias potentiometer. And be careful not to burn your hands on the tubes, because they will get very hot. Set it to 38 milliamps and you're done. I'm running out of adjustment at 22, so I'm going to switch to EL34 mode, even though I'm using 6L6s. If the same thing happens to you, switch the amp off. Be careful not to burn yourself. And switch into EL34 mode. Set it to 38 milliamps. Check it again after 15 minutes or so, and you're done. And make sure to leave it in EL34 mode.